And I'm joined now by Leyla Bnalli. She is the Chief Economist and the Head of Strategy at Apicorp. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us.
Well, the investments are quite key. I mean, we have at Apicorp, we are looking at the investment that are needed over the next 5 years. Having long-term outlooks is quite important, but at the end of the day, somebody has to come and invest. And we provide support to the energy sector in forms of equity and debt, etc. So for us, in our investment outlook, we are looking at something around $360 billion that are needed just in the MENA region over the next 5 years, which are committed actually in oil, gas, power, petrochemicals. But the majority of those investments are needed in the oil and gas sector. And the majority of that part is actually in the upstream part of the business. So the world actually still needs a lot of oil and gas from the MENA region. Well, I mean, here again, we don't want to be too alarmist. I mean, the energy sector has been going through several periods of ups and downs, and people were talking about peak supply and then peak demand, and we ended up today in a situation where climate change is actually quite high on government's agendas and policymakers' agendas. At the end of the day, I think one interesting key message that was given today is the time to transition is quite long for any form of energy, and I think renewables, just like the nuclear industry, I would say, is going through a very rapid transition and taking up a lot of market shares quite rapidly in the energy sector. But here again, this was, like for the nuclear industry, very much helped by government policies. So at the end of the day, the governments are the ones, and the policymakers are the ones who are actually sending the right signals for the types of industries that they want.